across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
It's Christmas season! Hooray! A time to make merry with loved ones, a time to give thanks, and a time to be a blessing. May your holiday season be filled with joy, laughter, and beautiful moments. From all of us in Morrison Communications Limited, Wish 99.5 FM and Atlantic Television Network, we wish you a Merry Christmas full of amazing experiences. Cheers to a beautiful year end.
You are watching Atlantic Television Network Business. This is a network medium of bringing the happenings in the economy sector of society to our discerning viewers. This program is aimed at bringing to the doorstep of viewers the business, financial and economic activities from all strata of society. Its deliveries are concentrated through the various stock exchanges across the world. News about government economic activities, private sector business activities, laced with experts' opinions, stakeholders' analysis, and correspondence report. First, the headlines. Stock markets, big firms build up NGX capitalization by 436 billion naira.
Agriculture Alternative Bank supports farmers in Ogoniland.
Administration, 9 concussions, NDAs against guideline violation.
On litigation, Serap sue NNPCL over failure to give accounts for oil production revenue.
Oil and gas, oil revenue crashes by 289.6 billion naira, output falls.
Tech advancement, customs set to install scanner at ports.
We'll be back with details of these stories and more after the break.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings.
The total market capitalization of these heavyweight companies was 25 trillion naira. Effectively, they were in control of more than half of the NGX total market capitalization, which stood at 40.506 trillion naira as of Friday. In recent weeks, banking stocks have flourished when it comes to the SWOTs in the banking index. Zenith and GTCO have seen investors injecting billions into these stocks. This trend has translated into high profitability as both banks reported year-to-date returns of 57.92% and 74.13% respectively, and 4.414 billion naira of their market capitalization to close at 1.489 trillion naira and 1.178 trillion naira respectively ahead of Christmas. A closer look revealed that the communications company Airtel Africa and MTN Nigeria had the highest gains of the SWOT as their stock rose by 329 billion naira and 104 billion naira respectively to close at 7.93 trillion naira and 5.248 trillion naira during the week under review. Other stocks in the high net worth category like BUA Cement, BUA Foods, Dangote Cement, and Seplat closed flat. However, their year-to-date returns as of Friday stood at minus 0.77%, 206%, 22.61%, and 110% respectively. Plat's entry to the 1 trillion naira market capitalization club was on the back of rallying oil prices that had bolstered investors' sentiment. Earlier this month, First Bank of Nigeria Holdings hit the 1 trillion naira mark driven by sustained interest in its stocks. Its market cap has, however, dropped below 1 trillion naira during subsequent trading sessions. Its year-to-date
a multi-sectional committee set up to oversee the full implementation of compulsory insurance, which include a government asset, has commenced meeting with also raised 4 subcommittees to ensure easy implementation of stipulated rules. NADCOM is also ready to drag any MDA and contravenes the rule before the Secretary to the government of the Federation, as the Commission seeks to strengthen its oversight.
Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project (SERP) has sued Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited at the Federal High Court, Abuja, over failure to disclose details of Nigeria's daily oil production, exportation and revenues generated from oil since the removal of subsidy on petrol in May 2023. In the suit, the organization is arguing that there is a legitimate public interest in disclosing the information sought. The NNPCL has a legal responsibility to disclose the details of Nigeria's daily oil production, exportation and the revenues generated and remitted. Nigerians have the right to know the amount of barrels of oil the country produces and exports daily, the revenues generated and remitted to the public treasury. Compelling the NNPCL to disclose these details would promote transparency and accountability in the oil sector, it argued. According to the organization, the failure by the NNPCL to disclose the information sought will be a grave violation of the provisions of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, the Freedom of Information Act, and the country's obligations under the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. In a suit filed on behalf of SERP by its lawyers Kolawole Oluwadare and Andrew Wankwo, the organization lamented that Nigeria's daily oil production, exportation, and the revenues generated have been mostly shrouded by secrecy. The body noted that Nigeria has made legally binding commitments under the UN Convention Against Corruption and the African Union Convention on Preventing and Combating Corruption to ensure transparency and accountability in the management of public resources. The organization lamented that the NNPCL has failed to disclose the amount of barrels of oil the country produces and exports. The NNPCL has also reportedly failed to publish details of revenues generated from the production and exportation of oil and the amount of revenues remitted to the public treasury as required by Nigerian laws, SERP lamented. No date has been fixed for the hearing of the suit.
Immediate to allegations that he and other top government officials were allegedly captured on CCTV removing over $6 million from Central Bank of Nigeria VAT. CBN investigator Jim Obaze met the accusations in a report on the massive corruption which allegedly took place at the APEC Bank under Godwin Emefiele. According to the report, the former CBN governor supervised the illegal movement of the public fund directly from the CBN VAT. Obaze has named the former SGF as an accomplice. In a swift response on Sunday evening, Mustafa denied involvement in the alleged withdrawal of over $6 million from the CBN under Emefiele watch. I have no knowledge of such a directive, nor was I even involved in any discussion or transaction regarding the alleged payment to foreign election observer Mustafa in a statement. He continued his claim that $6.3 million was withdrawn from the CBN VAT based on the proposed presidential directive bearing the signature of the President Buhari. These documents, unsurprisingly, have not been presented for public scrutiny. I demand a thorough and transparent investigation into this matter. Let the relevant authorities probe the source of the fabricated documents and expose those responsible for these malicious attempts to damage my reputation. I have nothing to hide and welcome any legitimate investigation that shed light on the truth. Throughout my career in public service, I have always upheld the highest standard of integrity and ethical conduct. I have served with dedication and transparency, and my record speaks for itself. I will not allow this baseless and defamatory attack to an unchallenged. I will defend my reputation vigorously and ensure that the truth prevails. This is not just about me. It is about upholding the integrity of public service and safeguarding the reputation of those who have served this country with honor.
Commissioner of Insurance, Ties Insurance in Nigeria. I commend the vision of Enterprise Life for leading in this area. With Advantage Connect, I believe more people will have access to insurance and be brought into the financial net. According to his statement, the commissioner gave his endorsement when Enterprise Life launched its digital solution to revolutionize financial planning and insurance accessibility across Nigeria. It stated, Advantage Connect, a digital insurance channel, has caught the attention of regulatory authorities, with Mr. Sunday Thomas expressing his enthusiasm for the platform's potential impact on the nation's insurance sector. The Chief Executive Officer of Enterprise Life, Fumi Omo, it is a revolutionary platform connecting individuals with nearby life planners, ensuring tailored life insurance solutions specific to their needs. We are honored to receive the endorsement of the Commission of Insurance, affirming our dedication to enhancing financial inclusion and security in Nigeria.
Civil society organization has appealed to all participating parties in the recently held 28th section of the conference, the decision reached during the section into concrete action. According to the CSOs, this will ensure that those most impacted by the climate surge have a chance to survive. Speaking on behalf of the CSOs, the executive director of the Center for 21st Century Issues, Titilope Asosa, said these at the press conference on the outcome of COP28 in Lagos. COP28 was held in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, from November 30th to November 13, 2023. According to Akosa, she added solutions such as reforestation, afforestation, sustainable agriculture, agroforestry, and sustainable management can effectively tackle various environmental challenges and mitigate climate impact while offering multiple benefits to communities and biodiversity to build a resilient future for all. It is important to note that the fossil fuel phase out is part of just transition, which require adequate financing. Nigerian CSOs call upon development partners, multilateral development bank, and climate financial institutions to support Nigerians in its transition by providing the necessary financial resources to navigate this transition successfully. By receiving support, Nigeria can achieve a just transition that enhances sustainable development and promotes climate resilience, she maintained.
The Emir of Zazzau in Kaduna State, Ahmed Bamali, has urged the Alternative Bank to strengthen ties with Zazzau Emirate for sustainable economic growth. The Emir stated this banking institution driving economic growth through sustainable practices, responsible investment, and financial decisions. Umar highlighted the Alternative Bank's global reach as a fully digital bank offering services across Nigeria and beyond through digital channels, and acknowledging the enduring partnership with Zaria's community. He expressed confidence that the bank's business would benefit customers in the region through this new branch.
Oil revenue crashed by 289.6 billion naira as output falls. Nigerian lost about 289.6 billion crude oil revenue in November 2023 following a plug in the country's oil output last month when compared to when it pumped into the preceding month of October. An analysis of the country's latest crude oil production figures obtained from the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission in Abuja on Sunday shows that Nigeria produced 41,867,775 million barrels of crude in October. But this plugged to 37,508,971 barrels in November, representing a decline of 4,358,804 million barrels, which march against the countries produced in October. The average price of Brent, the global benchmark for crude, in November 2023 was $82.97 barrels, according to country economic and international statistics firm. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Senator Eniken Lakuberi, has insisted on Tuesday that the countries will meet its oil production benchmark in the 2024 budget of 1.7 mbpd. Lakuberi had also said that the countries has the capacity to increase crude oil production to 2 million barrels per day. The success of the upstream sector will determine.
This report says allegations. The embattled governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has faulted allegations of stolen funds against him in the recently released report of the special investigator on the CBN. Others stole billions, illegally kept Nigeria's fund in foreign banks. Last week, the special investigator on the CBN and related entities, Jim Obaze, disclosed that the ex-CBN governor lodged £543 million deposit in UK banks alone without authorization. Obaze's report partly read the former governor of the CBN, Godwin Emefiele, invested Nigeria's money without authorization in 593 foreign bank accounts in the United States, China, and the United Kingdom while he was in charge. All the accounts where the billions were lodged have all been traced by the investigator. But reacting in a statement on Sunday, Emefiele said, "After my release on bail from the Correctional Center, Kuje, my attention was drawn to the publications released by some mainstream and online news platforms. The sources of the information published by both media houses were credited to a certain report prepared by Mr. Jim Obaze, who was appointed by the president as a private investigator. I have gone through the publications and I say boldly that the content of the said publications are false, misleading, and calculated to disparage my person, injure my character, and serve the selfish interest of the private investigator. I therefore join well-meaning Nigerians who have spoken on this matter and have demanded a thorough and transparent investigation of all these alleged frauds." He added that I have instructed my lawyers to immediately commence the legal process to clear my name from the
Federal Ministry of Aviation, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, and the National Assembly Committee on Aviation to wider into the issues of exorbitant airfares in a country that has made life difficult for the members of Akporie. NATA is elected by the response of the federal government through its consumers protection and regulatory agencies to wide into the matter. In a recent interview, the NATA president said, "We want to appreciate the government through the executive vice chairman of the FCCPC, Babatunde Erukera, who has assured the sector that investigation will commence into the present structure of the airfare in Nigeria and bring it to an acceptable regime," she stated. The FCCPC boss revealed that forensic studies in airfare prices remain the most complex in the market investigation ecosystem, adding that it was possible to travel at a short distance and pay more, even with someone sitting beside you paying something different, describing the phenomenon as the competition issues. Irokere noted that there were many issues that must be...
Write the story of housing and urban development in the country by preventing the proliferation of slums for the slum upgrading program. The ministry's plan to upgrade 26 slums in the 6 regions of the country and the Federal Capital Territory. to improve the living standards of the slum residents and urban poor by providing key infrastructure and ancillary services, Dangiwa said. The federal government, through the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, will be spending 4.1 billion naira in the 2024 the story of housing and urban development in the country by preventing the proliferation of slums for the slum upgrading program. The ministry's plans to upgrade 26 slums in the 6th region of the country and the Federal Capital Territory to improve the living standards of the slum residents and urban poor by providing key infrastructure and ancillary services, Dan Giwa said.
The Alternative Bank Limited has said it's taking proactive steps to combat hunger and environmental distresses in Ogoniland. Teaming up with over 800 local farmers, the bank in the statement said it has launched the Agricultural Community Support Program in Bori, Kana, local government area of Rivers State, in collaboration with the Global Entrepreneurship City Limited. According to the statement, a key focus is also on boosting foreign exchange earnings through the export of proceeding agricultural products. At the inauguration ceremony, the group head of agricultural finance and solid mineral, Benga Awa, said the initiative aimed to fortify local farmers, addressing food security and elevate livelihood, represented by the company's head of structure, Trade Finance, Adelana Ogunjiri. Awa expressed the Alternative Bank's commitment to financial inclusion, having already provided over 80 farmers with bank account and ATM debit card. He said our strategy is geared towards sustainability, creating jobs, and contributing to foreign exchange earning. The Chief Executive Officer of the Global Entrepreneurship City Limited, Douglas Fabeke, outlined a plan for a cassava processing factory and agricultural research center to empower Ogoni farmers. He noted that despite challenges like lack of set-up capitals, the project aimed to revive farming and fishing, crucial occupation hindered by years of neglect. The Ogoni farmers, represented by Mary Jo, expressed gratitude to Alternative Bank for alleviating their struggles and supporting widows and orphans.
The Comptroller General of Nigeria Customs Service, Bashir Adeniyi, has unveiled plans of massive installation of scanners at the country's seaports with the ultimate goal of facilitating better trade. British High Commissioner to Nigeria, ambassadors of the United States of America and Germany, representatives from the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes and the World Bank at the NCS headquarters in Abuja. We have a new government. We have a lot of explanations to make to all the stakeholders. We have a responsibility to carry out massive sensitization on the Nigerian Customs Service Act 2023. The Customs Boss underscored the Act's focus on automation processes, the use of a single window, and authorized economy operators system, incorporating advanced ruling and expanding the use of scanners, signaling a move towards modernization. Commenting on wildlife smuggling, Adeniyi assured the diplomat of his commitment to sustain the battle against illicit wildlife trade in Nigeria, while highlighting the needs for collaborative efforts among stakeholders. He specifically pointed out the importance of international cooperation in customs activities.
The President Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria, Edwin Igbeti, has stressed the need for the cooperative sides and clubs to embrace insurance in order to mitigate losses in the event of crisis in their operation. He urged that insurances are the catalyst for the economic growth of which the government needs to leverage on to take the risks the economy. Igbeti stated this in Lagos at the Fed Fundraise and Investor ceremony. The 46th president of Yaba Lions Club is 404A3. Igbeti explained that insurance helps to facilitate investment, encourage continuity in businesses. It further explained that the insurance facilitates entrepreneurs and enabling the businessmen to face his business while it leaves a subject matter of risk for guidance from the insurance companies. The newly installed president, Mr. Ogwefi Mike Nwabuike, called for the fund support to tackle some societal problems. He noted that the club is passionate about issues of debate, hunger, cancer, science care, job development, employment, and humanitarian support. Nwabuike said, I humbly implore you all to support financially to overcome these overwhelming cases facing our communities. He called on the government to create job opportunities for youth, noting that when people earn an income, it improves the standard of living.
Notwithstanding increased earnings from the unification of foreign exchange rate, the government coffers, 6 ministries, departments, and agencies have budgeted 244 million naira to cover foreign exchange losses. This is according to a data from the 2024 budget available on the budget office of the Federation. According to the Corporate Finance Institute, the foreign exchange gain or loss occurs when a company buys and sells services in a foreign currency and the currency fluctuates relative to its home currency. In the 2024 budget, the highest output for foreign losses, that of police, information and commands, which budgeted 137.1 million naira to cover foreign exchange loss. It was followed by the National Center for Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons with an allocation of 75.98 million naira. There was also the National Intelligence Agency, which budgeted 26.32 million naira to cover the foreign exchange loss. Others are the National Counter-Terrorism Center with an allocation of 3.25 million naira, Nigerian Air Force with 1.26 million naira, and Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy 454.98 million naira. In 2023, the CBN directed deposit money banks to remove the rate cap on the naira at the official investors and exporters window of the foreign exchange market to enable its free float against the dollar and other global currencies. This led to an immediate decline in the value of the naira. The local currency fell from 471 per dollar, 861.91 naira per dollar. On Friday, at the investors and exporters, according to from the FMDQ exchange. We will go on a short break. You watch Vision Network Business. See you shortly.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
It's Christmas season! Hooray! A time to make merry with loved ones, a time to give thanks, and a time to be a blessing. May your holiday season be filled with joy, laughter, and beautiful moments. All of us in Morrison Communications Limited wish 99.5 FM and Atlantic Television Network. We wish you a Merry Christmas full of amazing experiences. Cheers to a beautiful year end.